Alright, today we're going to be port matching the exhaust ports to the exhaust gasket here. Alright, the items that you're going to want to use for this, you're going to need some abrasive sanding rolls. You're going to want an air chuck. I prefer to use the one with the 4-inch shank. It helps get down into the runners. You're going to want a scribe here. This is so that you can mark your lines, your rings here on the head itself. Easiest thing to use to do that is this crayon here. Once it's all cleaned up with the razor blades, get all that old carbon off. We're going to put some wax on there, and we're going to use the scribe to etch the wax. Alright, now after you get your wax crayon built up on there, that's when you go ahead and lay your gasket on. Alright, try and get it nice and lined up. Alright, then you're going to take your scribe, while holding your gasket, make sure it's centered. You're pretty much just going to run it around like this. Okay, keep the gasket steady, move to the next hole. Okay. Alright, hit pause. Alright, once you get your lines scribed into the wax, you're going to take a razor blade and not going forward, you're going to go backwards, squeegee the wax off. This helps distinguish that line that we put. It's a little bit more visible when you're working. Alright, now after you get the majority of your wax removed, alright, you see how it's a lot easier to differentiate where your lines are. What I like to do at this point is throw the gasket back on and rescribe my lines. That way any wax down in the lines or anything just makes it real nice and easy to see. This is like your warning marker, so you know when you're taking off too much material. You can always take off more, but if you take off too much, you're going to need a new head. Alright, and now from this point, we're pretty much ready to start porting. And now what I like to do is, if you look right down in there, that little divider, I like to knife edge those. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to each cylinder and worry about just doing that knife edge first. That way we can try and keep them consistent throughout. Then we're going to go around and do the outside radius. Alright, and this is the first pass. This is just knife edging the dividers there. Alright, take it down to each one. Alright. Alright, and I'm sure you guys wanted to see some of this too. Now at this point, we're real close to the edge here. This is where we want to start taking our time. Alright, see how this side is already pretty much smooth? Alright, now take it this side. Look at this side. That ridge right there. We're going to be slowly shaping this down and rounding it in. We want to try and keep our walls linear so that there's no outward taper really until, so the runners just come straight out. One side. wraps it up with the carbides. Alright. This is just the first pass. We're still going to do plenty of work with sanding rolls and then sandpaper. So now we're going to go from this to this.